Okay. How are we doing today? Just put it in the chat. Okay. We're going to be having a conversation in the chat today. Okay. And I would like to know how you all are doing today. Just one word. Okay. Today is Thursday. I mean, tomorrow is Friday. So you should be excited a bit. Okay. And you should also be excited that you're here today, all right? Because this is what other people pay to attend for, and this is literally what we're giving out for free. Do you understand? So I'm sure you guys are excited, okay, to be here today. But how has your week been so far? If it's been busy, put busy. If it's been exciting, put exciting. If it has been very excited to be here, I did you okay, fantastic. I'm excited for you. I'm actually excited to be here also, to be honest with you. Uh So how is everyone doing today? Jerry and the rest of the crew. Philip, Ahmed, everybody, how you all doing today? All right. Anyways, we're going to be using the chat a lot for today's session. We're going to be using the chat a lot in today's session. So please feel free to drop your questions, your concerns, everything in the chat. Okay. So today's session, we're going to be talking about getting started with Python as a data engineer or as a data scientist or even in cybersecurity. So Python is one major tool that is consistent amongst these three career paths. So are you looking to get into data engineering? Python is a fundamental, data science and cybersecurity. And these are the things that we're going to be discussing in today's session. Okay, so if this is your first time attending the Analytics Masterclass, you are welcome. Okay, we're excited to have you on board, regardless of anywhere you are joining from. If you're in the UK, you're in Canada, you're in Nigeria, you are from anywhere across the world, we are happy for you to be here in today's session. So today's session is just going to be about 1 hour, 30 minutes maximum. Okay, and we're going to be discussing Python. Over the week, I met with some people looking to transition. And one of the major things a lot of people are running away from is programming. Okay, that's Python programming. A lot of them are just so concerned that they don't know Python. They've tried learning it in the past, and it's something that they find very difficult to understand. And I won't lie, I actually resonate so much with that because when I was looking to transition also, Python was one of the things that was a bit challenging for me to understand the why between what I was doing. Okay. So you're writing a code and you honestly don't know how and why you're writing those codes. Or after you finish writing that code, you go like a day without coding, and the next thing you go back to it, you find out that you can't remember how you're writing a code or how to write that particular code. You see, there's so many misconceptions. So when people face this kind of challenges, you're learning Python, you learn today, you can actually do a little bit of coding that day you learned. But you see, 2 days or one day, even just a day of you not practicing, okay, you find out that you have forgotten all the things that you've learned. And that actually deters a lot of people, okay, when they're looking to learning Python. Okay. Oh, I don't know Python. I don't know Python. But I'm going to change your perspective in today's session. Okay. And that's exactly why we have designed the session to help you understand how the environment has changed over the years. Okay. So basically, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. You don't need to stress yourself at all. Literally just allow me to do the let me do the journey. Let me do the hard lifting, okay, the hard work, okay. And I'm going to take you on the journey on getting started with Python in either of these career paths that you're looking at. All right. For the people joining us for the first time, okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Analytics. All right. This is a company that is so dear to my heart. This is something that we started just about 4 years ago. Okay. And it has been so impactful to literally people across the world, majorly Africans across the world. Now, who are we at Analytics and what do we stand for? Analytics is an educational technology firm, okay, with the main focus for us is to get more Africans interested and get them into the tech space. Been our focus right from the first day we had the idea of creating the platform. So the idea was we have Africans literally across the world, okay, and you don't find them in the tech ecosystem. Now you start to ask yourself, where are Nigerians, where are other Africans, where are we, where we're looking at tech as, the global tech ecosystem. All right. So I'll talk a bit about myself, okay? And I'll talk about why can analytics, is doing what we are doing or why we are doing what we are doing. Okay. So in the last 4 years of being in operation, we've helped over 2,000 people transition from classroom. So when I say from classroom, meaning that they had no prior experience into getting their first job in the tech space. Now, a lot of you was, a lot of people can call numbers, okay? But the difference between us and other platform that you'll find is we have evidence. Okay. So when I say about over 2,000 plus people, we have evidence to showcase the people that have Nigerians, Africans, Ghanaians, Cameroonians, guys from Trinidad and Tobago. We have people from Jamaica getting jobs. Okay. This is what we do. And we've been doing this for the last 4 years. Okay. And we've helped over 2,000 plus people. Now we have evidence to showcase these proof of concepts, okay, the things that we are working on, okay? So that's exactly what we do. So bridging that gap, okay? So you don't have experience or you're looking to transition, you have been working as an accountant, you've been working as a customer service representative, and you've been doing this for years, and you feel there is no more growth in that particular career path for you, and you're looking to make that transition. Do you know the best platform to be on? Do you know the best place where you should be? Analytics, to be honest with you. And anytime, any day, you need to be here so that you can, make that transition within your career, in your career. Okay. So who is a Femina April and what gives me that, the yardstick to speak to you today? Okay. What gives me that, what makes me worthy to be in front of you in today's session? And I'll give you a little bit of background about myself and the things I have worked on. Okay. So my background is in economics. So I don't have any computer science degree. Okay. So I did economics at university in Ibadan. Okay. Listen to University in Ibadan. So I went there for my undergraduate degree, got economics, graduated with economics. Okay. And my first job also nothing technical related, which was in management consulting. So I did management consulting, which, like I said, nothing technical. Okay, it's just if you have any friends or family member working in consulting, you'll find out that for management consulting, you're not doing anything tech inclined. So you see, I'm coming from a place of no technical background. But now the key question I want you guys to ask yourself is, how did I transition from a non-technical background to becoming a data expert or a tech expert, okay, in the sense of it. Now, while working as a management consultant, I made that conscious effort to say that, okay, do you know what? I need a career change. I need to switch a career, okay? And there were certain factors I looked at when I was looking at transitioning and, so one major misconception most people have is I need a computer science degree. I need to be the smartest person. I need to be very smart. I need to be good with mathematics. I need to be good with so many things in order for you to get a job in the tech space. And that's basically the barriers that we're trying to break, okay? In the sense that all these misconceptions that you've heard over time, they are not valid, okay? They are not valid. Like I said, that's the reason why I wanted to talk a bit about myself, starting from economics, getting my first job in management consulting. All right. So now moving from consulting to getting the first job, which was a BA business intelligence developer with one of the largest logistics firm back in Ireland. Okay. So, these are the things that you need to surround yourself with. You need to listen to other people that have done it. Okay. So I'm not speaking from a place of, I'm speaking from a place of I have been in your shoes before, coming from a non-technical background and getting into a technical background. So for you guys on the call that are looking to make that transition, coming from a non-technical background, you've done Yoruba in university, you've done education, you've done botany, you've done industrial chemistry, you've done physics, all right, you've done, all those, well, technical, non-technical background, and you're looking to transition into the tech space. Don't worry, we're going to be discussing that in today's session. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So currently, I work as a data contractor here in Canada. So I'm based in Canada now. I've worked in the US. I've worked for companies in the US. I've worked for companies in the UK, Ireland, and also literally across some other countries across the world. Okay, and my experience spans across logistics, supply chain, health tech, edutech, FMCG, medical technologies, and so on and so forth. So that's my experience, and that's basically the background in which I'm coming to teach you in today's session. So See, guys, one thing you need to understand is would unhold you and guide you through your journey into the tech ecosystem. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you guys are excited to be here. So what are we going to be doing today? Like I said, we're only going to be here for about 1 hour, 30 minutes maximum. All right. So allow me to just go through the session. So what are we doing today? For the next 1 hour, what are we going to be doing? Number one, if you've never programmed before, you've never done anything in Python, you will do it today. Okay. You would be able to do it either today or after the session. You'll be able to do the same thing I am doing. All right. Number two, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about pathways to becoming a tech talent, okay, and securing a job. Now, the real essence of you learning a new skill in today's global term, okay, is for you to get a job. You're not going to be learning a skill just to audit, just to say, oh, I know this, I know how to do it. The whole essence of you learning a new technical skill is for you to get a job, to get a better job, to get a better pay, to get that flexibility, and so on and so forth. So, how do you secure this? We're going to be discussing it in today's session. Now, number three is the growth internship program, which has been tremendous in helping people transition into the tech space. And number four is we have a special offer for you, not for any other person, just for you. We have a special offer for you. So these are the four things that we're going to be looking at in today's session. Number one, writing responsive Python code. Like I said, if you've never programmed before, you would be able to do it in today's session. We're going to be talking about how to become a tech talent, okay, and securing a job. Also talk about the growth internship program, and we're going to cap it off with the special discount that we have for you. For you. So drop a one in the chat if you guys are excited to be here. Drop a one in the chat. Let's go. Drop it. Let's go. All right, fantastic. I love that. Okay, thanks a lot for that. Okay, so let's fire ahead. Okay, let's fire ahead. So one thing you need to do today, I would want you guys to do today is I want you guys to open your mind. Okay, I want you guys to open your mind and look at what is happening in the current landscape, and that's what I'm going to be writing on. Okay, so for today's session, let's go to the first thing, writing Python codes. Okay. So which of these tech roles are you interested in? Which of these tech roles are you interested in? I would just want like an abbreviation, DS, DE, CA, whatever of this career path are you interested in? Oh, CA, DE, CA. So we have cybersecurity, we have data engineering, we have data science. Okay, we have everybody on the call. Fantastic. Fantastic. So now that you know the career path that you're interested in, we'll be discussing it as we go on in the session. Somebody's already selecting two. I want the two of them. Okay. It's okay. No problem. After the session, you probably have to start with one, but let's just fire ahead. So, like I said, I'm going to be talking you based on current reality. Okay. So you see a lot of people being scared of coding, okay, being scared of Python, okay, not the snake now. Okay, we're talking about the programming language. So you're scared of programming. You're scared that, oh, I don't know how to program. I'm not that, there are so many people that have that, that fear of programming. Okay. And that's coming from the fact that they've tried learning before or they've seen a movie that, it's only the smart people that know how to program. Okay. And they know how to type very fast. So I'm very bad in typing. I cannot type very fast. So you then construe slow typing to being bad at programming because you've seen movies whereby the programmer is the person that types very fast. So you feel that's the conception, that's what you think happens in real life. Okay. So, but that's not the case. And I honestly love this video from, the CEO of NVIDIA, okay, Jensen. So he said something about programming, and I want you guys to listen to this. Now, we are in this current landscape whereby AI is embedded into everything, is being embedded into everything that we do. So WhatsApp now has AI embedded. Instagram, AI embedded. Microsoft, AI. Your web browsers, AI is embedded. Everything now, every tool, every application that is being designed, AI is being implemented in there. So now, AI is not going to run away. It's not going to fade away in the next 2 years, 3 years. What would happen in the next 3 years, 4 years from now is AI would likely dominate the tech ecosystem. It's currently even dominating already. And that's going to be a consistent trend in the next couple of years. But now the key question is, you are here, I don't understand programming. You don't understand programming, and AI, and everybody's of the opinion that AI is going to take your job, AI is going to steal your job. But guess what, guys? AI is not going to steal your job. Okay, AI is not going to replace you. AI will only replace you if you don't know how to leverage AI. Now, I usually give a very good example. These are things that you'll find very. These are things that you resonate with. Now, if you remember, there was a time when I finished secondary school, all right, preparing to go to university. Okay, we had a few months, okay, a gap, maybe like about 3 months or there about 3, 4 months before you start the university from secondary school to university. So that gap period, okay, majority of us went to computer school, okay, to learn Photoshop, CorelDRAW, or to learn how to type, or to learn something. You could learn computer. Do you understand? So in that period, everybody was learning how to either learn how to use CorelDRAW or Photoshop or so on, or Word or PowerPoint or whatever the case might be. Okay. But you see some people that were working in the office, especially the guys in the secretaries, the people that were using typewriters. Okay. All right. You see that those guys found it difficult to change. The guys that know how to use typewriter very well, they found it difficult. They found it hard to conceptualize that a computer, all right, would be able to replace a typewriter. Okay. Now, those people that were adamant to change, they were saying that, oh, typewriter is not possible for a laptop or a computer to take over a typewriter. What happened eventually? Majority of the organization obviously saw a computer works way more efficiently than a typewriter. Okay. So you see, all the people that were resistant to change, people that did not want to change from learn a new skill, for example, okay, learn how to type on the laptop, learn how to print on the laptop, learn how to use a laptop properly. You see, those people that did not learn those things are the people that lost their jobs. They are the people that got replaced by the computer. Okay. So now that's the same thing with AI. Okay. That's the same thing with AI. So if you're looking to get a job in the next year, 2 years, it's not going to become a requirement. I mean, even currently, it's already seeping into the cracks of job requirements. Do you know how to leverage ChatGPT? Do you know how to prompt engineering? Seeping into what you do on a day-to-day basis already currently. So imagine now in the next 1 year, okay, or the next 2 years, what's going to look like? What's it going to look like? So do you know how to use AI? All right. That's what is going to be the next thing. And that's the approach I'm going to be coming in to show you that you don't have to be the best in programming anymore. And that's exactly what Jensen is going to tell you also. This is not coming from Ifemena April. This is coming from a well-renowned tech CEO. I mean, what they currently own the largest, market cap in terms of any company in the world. So let me play this video for you from Jensen. And we can please, can you confirm?
I have an idea for a meal prep.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Food truck.
Okay.
Chef wheel.
I'm just going to skip this.
Well, excellent question. I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound completely opposite of what people feel. You probably recall over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program. And that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. For the very first time, we have closed the gap. The technology divide has been completely closed. And this is the reason why so many people can engage artificial intelligence. It is the reason why every single government, every single industrial conference, every single company is talking about artificial intelligence today.
All right, so that's basically the video. Just gonna close this up, okay? So you see, and that's what I'm going to show you in today's session. If you're doubting it, okay, I'm going to show you in today's session. AI is being embedded into everything that we do. Now, AI is not there to overturn or steal your job. It's to make things easier for you, to do things faster, to do this more efficiently. So you don't have to be the best in programming, okay, in order for you to build a security architecture or to analyze data or to build an ETL pipeline. AI would make it easier and faster for you. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's session. So for those guys, for you that you're scared of learning Python because you tried learning it about 2, 3 years ago, and you found it difficult to learn, and so on. That's why you heard it from Jensen. I was saying that you don't. Everything now is prompt engineering. You are the programming. You yourself, the way you think is the way you are going to program. And that's what I'm going to show you in today's session. So in today's session, we're going to be leveraging Gemini. Okay. So Gemini is the AI version of for Google, is a AI version for Google. Okay, so Google developed Gemini, all right. OpenAI developed ChatGPT, and you have a whole like array of other AI applications that you have out there. Okay, so we're going to be using Python, we're going to be using Google Colab, and we're going to be using Gemini. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to be using for you to learn how to program within a few minutes. Okay, and you find that you can actually program now using AI. All right. So now let's jump straight into it. So all you need to do for today's session, like I said, all you need to do is just relax, and I'm going to take you through every bit and piece of what you need to know in today's session. So let's click on, I'm going to just bring in a new browser. I'm going to bring in my browser. Okay. So all you need to do is just open the browser and type in Google Colab. Okay. Google Colab. Now, Google Colab is free. It's free of charge. You're not paying any subscription. You're not paying anything. Okay? You're not paying anything. It's free of charge. So once you search for Google Colab on your laptop, okay? Once you search for Google Colab on your laptop, I want you to click on the first link, which is Welcome to Colab. Okay? Welcome to Colab. And I'm going to click on that. Okay? Going to click on that, and it's going to open up a new tab for me. It's going to open up a new page for me. So this is Google Colab, all right? And all I need to do is click on New Notebook. New Notebook. That's all I need to do. So before I click on New Notebook, okay, this is Google Colab, and I'm going to explain this in the next 5 minutes or thereabout, okay? So once you click on Google Colab, the only thing that you need is a Gmail account. So once you use your Gmail account, you are fine. You don't literally, and we all know that creating a Gmail account is also free of charge. Okay. So once you type in Google Colab, you register using your Gmail account. Okay. Once you register through your Gmail account, you can click on New Notebook. Okay. Click on New Notebook, and you are good to go. You're good to go. Okay. So I'm going to just rename the file. I'm going to rename the file as, let me say, June Masterclass. June Masterclass. Okay, June Masterclass. That's what I'll call it. Okay. Now, on the top left corner, what you see on the top left corner, sorry, give me a second. On the top left corner, okay, you see over here, you'll see Gemini. Over here, you'll see Gemini. So this right here is the AI, okay, is the AI tool developed by Google. Okay. So you see, when I tell you that every application that you're going to be leveraging in the next 6 months to 1 year would have AI embedded. Every tool, every application that you're going to be using is going to be having one AI tool or the other embedded in there. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's session. So now the key question is, how do you leverage AI in programming? Okay, how do you leverage AI in programming? So if you're terrible in programming, like I said, the main reason majority of the people try to run away from programming at the moment is the fact that I wrote a code yesterday. I wrote a code yesterday, and today I want to try to write that same code. Okay, I find it very difficult to write that same code. Okay, so you see, the moment they can't write that same code, what do? Python is hard. Okay, Python is hard. Okay, and that's where they stop. Okay, Python is hard. I can't remember my code. They start to look for another career path to get into. But that's where AI makes it a lot easier for you. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at in today's session. So bear with me, guys. So let's go ahead to use AI to code in our session for today. So now, once you create a new file, once you go to Google Colab, okay? So ensure you're using your Google Chrome. Ensure you're using Google Chrome. I think it only works. Gemini only works on Google Chrome so far, from my experience. Okay, so they might have updated it since the last time I checked, or maybe Explorer or Safari or any other browser that you're using. But ensure that you're using a Google Chrome. Okay, for you to have access to Gemini. Okay, ensure that you're using a Google Chrome to do the things that we're doing today's session. All right. So you see here, I'm going to show you something now. So over here, in the first cell that you see, you'll see start coding. Okay. You can start coding. That's basically manually. Okay. All right. So that's you writing the code by yourself. This is when you start to write the code by yourself, or generate with AI. So this is the AI that we're talking about. Now, this AI basically is Gemini. Okay, that is the Gemini that we are talking about. So you can start coding manually. So if you know how to program, like if a man at April, fine and good, please go ahead to start coding. Start coding by yourself. Write your own codes by yourself manually. All right. But if you don't know how to code, and you still code, yes, you can. And that's where you have generate with AI. And this AI tool that we're using is Gemini. And that's what we're going to be using in today's session. For being the fact that we're all beginners, we never know how to code, we've never coded before, or you've learned and you've forgotten, don't worry, you would see how easy it is for you to code. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with click on generate with AI, generate with AI. So I want to generate a code base based off a prompt. Now, a prompt basically is, I would say, it's a command. Okay. Okay, I would say it's a command, it's a request. Okay, so that's the prompt. So now you see it here. Generate is available for limited time for unsubscribed users. Okay, so you probably need to upgrade your Collab to Pro. That's when you now start to talk about subscription and so on. Okay, but we're going to use the free version. We're not paying for anything. All right. So now, how do you generate? So, when Jensen, there's something I want to take you back to, which is what Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, he said, you are programming. You, personally, you currently, you are programming. Now, what does that mean? To me, it means that if you can think about it and you can type it, you can program. That's what he's saying. All right. So anybody, anywhere can actually program now. Why? The use of AI. So if you can think it and you can type it out, you can program. Now let's test it out together. Let's say you're working as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay, you're working in cybersecurity. Okay, and the first question is, okay, I want to create a code base. I want to create a code base for password verification. So I want to create a code base for what? Password verification. Okay, password verification. So I will just tell that's Gemini. I'm gonna type it inside the box here. Okay, so I'll type in here, create a code base. Okay, for password verification. Okay, so now that's basically what I want. I want a code base. I want a code. Okay, code base, code mean the same thing. Okay, I want a code base for password verification. So you want to build a code that would be able to, get somebody's password and verify if it is correct or not correct. That's what you're looking for. So once I press enter, you see it starts to generate the code. Just give it a few seconds and you see it here. It has generated a code base for you to leverage. Okay, so let me take out the base so it doesn't. I'll just say I just need the code. Leave the base out. So the base basically is giving you, making it a bit more detailed. Okay, which is taking up all the space. So I'll just create a code for password verification. Now press enter. It's going to recreate it for me. Don't worry. Okay, so now suggested may be subject to license, blah, 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 and all that. So this is the code base that is using at the moment. So you see, this function verifies the strength of a password. Okay, this is coming from just a prompt. Create a code for password verification. Now it has created the code for you. All right. So this is a function. And now, what does this function do? The function verifies the strength of a password. Verifies what? The strength of a password. This was built, this code base, even if you've never programmed in your life before. You see, just the prompt generated this code base for you. Now, the password to be verified and return true if the password is strong, false otherwise. True if the password is strong, and false otherwise. Now let's look at how the Python code is verifying the password. Let's see how it is verifying the password. Okay. So now the first thing that you see there, let me get my pen. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see the pen. So you see the first condition. Okay. The first condition that you see there, the first condition that you see, which is what you have over here. Learn password. Learn password. Basically, this is looking at the length. Okay. The length of the password. Okay, this is looking at the length of the password. Okay, so they're saying that if the length of the password is less than 8, you see here, if the length of the password is less than 8, okay, return false. So basically what this is saying is if the length of the password, so you see majority of the time you go on a platform, okay, and you want to create a password. Okay, they'll tell you it has to be a minimum of how many characters? Minimum of 8 characters. Minimum of 8 characters. So when you're creating a password, it has to be a minimum of 8 characters. And that's what this first line is confirming. Now your total password, if your password is let's say Ade 1, 2, 3. That is this total. What's the total length of this password? Ade is A1, B is 2, E is 3, 1 is 4, 2 is 5, and 3 is 6. So the total length basically is 6 characters. This is 6 characters. So if 6 is in this situation, 6 is less than 8. So basically that's why it's giving you a false. So sometimes you go on the web platform and you type in your password, it just throw you an error. Immediately you write a 6 character instead of 8 character, it's just going to give you an error, a false error that this password is not long enough. Okay, this password is not long enough. Okay, and that's exactly where you're coming from. Okay, so the first one that is there, learn password is less than 8, false, reject it, reject the password. So if the length of the password is less than 8 characters, reject the password. That's what it is. Okay, that's basically what that code. That's the first line. Okay, so the second line also, you see, if not upper. Okay, you see, is upper. Okay, so this is upper is confirming if there is capital letter. If there is a capital letter. Okay, if there is a capital letter. So you see, the first one is looking at the length. Okay, the length of the password. Okay, this is confirming capital letter. So capital letter in the sense that is it a block letter A, a block letter B, a block letter C, all the way to Z. So this is confirming if that password that you created has a capital letter. Okay? Do you understand? You see how interesting this is? This is coming from a place of no coding. This is coming from a place from just a text that I created, a text that I typed in there. Now, the next one, without wasting too much time, like I said, I'm just going to be here for like the next 1 hour. So you understand exactly, you can do this by yourself anytime, any day. So the next one, who can guess what this is saying? Who can guess what this is? Confirm it. So this other one here is lower. This is upper and this is lower. Can anybody confirm what this is? Can anybody confirm what is lower? We'll be confirming. Can anybody confirm? Type it in the chat. I would like to know. Small letter, lowercase, small letters. That's basically it. Okay, so I'll just use small letter because I started with capital letter. Okay, small letter. Okay, so that's your A, your B, your C. So you see, your password has to be 8 characters. It has to have a capital letter. It has to have a small letter. Okay, okay. The next one is digits. Okay, the next one is digit, which is numbers. It has to contain numbers. It has to have numbers in there. Okay, and the last one, special characters. Okay, special characters. Okay, special characters. Okay, all right. Basically, so now, like I said, this is not coming from, if you've never programmed before in your life and you develop this code, that's the question I need you to answer. If you have never programmed before your life, if there was no AI, if AI never existed, if there was no AI embedded in this platform, for example, would you be able to create this password, this particular code base? It's likely going to be impossible. It's definitely not likely. It is impossible. If you've never programmed before, you would not be able to create this code base. It's impossible. But now, with the advent of AI embedded, okay, programming is no longer a tough criteria because there are tools, there are applications that can create this code base for you that you can leverage. Okay. Now, basically, that's exactly what I was trying to explain to you, telling you that if you can think it, all right, you can think and you can type it, it can create the code base for you. All right. So basically now let's test it out together. Let's test out our code. Let's test out, let's test out code. Okay. Right. I'll just click on the button here to play to run the call. Okay. So it's currently running, and you see enter your password. It's confirming now. Enter your password, and I'm going to put in, let's say, let's say, Ade Jumoke, all small letter. Ade Jumoke, Jumoke. Ade Jumoke, and I'll just put number 1. Ade Jumoke 1. So we see now that Ade Jumoke has all small letters with just one, what do you call it? With just number 1. And then I'll press enter. You see, password is weak. Password is weak. The password is weak. Please choose a stronger password. So let's try it again. I'm going to run, and I'll run it one more time. Enter your password. This time around, I'll put in Lydia, since Lydia is telling us to fill the attendance. So guys, if you want to get access to the materials, all the things that we're talking about today, please fill the attendance, okay? So I'll say Lydia at 1, okay? And I'll put the capital letter A, and I would, what else? Special character, ampersand, okay? So I have put in small letter, I've put in a special character, I've put in a number, I've put in the capital letter, and I've put in this, special character, basically the special character there already. So if I run this now, you see, your password is strong. Now, just to reiterate what I said or what I started with, okay? Create this code base that we're working with at the moment was not developed by me. Okay, so imagine I'm not a programmer. Imagine that I don't know how to program. Okay, what I have done now is just to write the prompt, and this prompt generated the code base for what I want to do. So we can try it out with something else. Okay, let's test out a data scientist. Okay, we've looked at using Python as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay, now let's use Python now as a data scientist. You want to use it to analyze data. First of all, we're going to start first with, if you guys are following me, I want you guys to drop a 1 in the chat first off before we go into the next one. Fantastic. So guys, the key thing that you need to have at the back of your mind is programming. You don't have to be the best in programming. Knowledge now is more necessary than the technical. Okay, so you learning how to learn, if you are currently still struggling to learn Python, okay, I would say you're still backward because nobody will require you to sit down in front of me and code and let me see your code base. The thing is, AI can leverage, you can leverage AI in creating this your code base, okay? And that's exactly what we're discussing in today's session. Now let's look at it in the side of the data scientist, okay? So I'm going to generate I'm going to generate, another code base. Now, this is for data science, okay? The data scientist will largely be dealing with data, okay? We'll be dealing with data for analysis, okay? Machine learning and so on, okay? So let's just create a random data. Let's create a random data, just random data that we can play with. So I would say create a data frame of participants, you guys on the call, a data frame of participants, okay? Data frame of participants, I'll just say, or let's say of maximum, let's say 10 participants, okay? With their age, weight, I would say weight, okay? Height, what else? Let's say, what else would I look at? Um, let's say, what else? Height, weight, location in the UK. Let's say we are all in the UK, location in the UK. Okay. And let's put in gender. Let's put in gender. And last but not the least, let's put in income. Fantastic. I love that. Location, sex, gender, income. Let's just stop with income. Okay. So you see, create a data frame for the people that this is where knowledge is important. Okay. So you see the word here I'm using here is, I call it a data frame. So another name for data frame is table. All right. Another name for data frame is a table. What is a table? A table is made up of rows and columns. Okay, rows and columns. So how does this look like? So this is a data frame. This is a table. Okay. So any data set that is like this, that looks like this, is what we call a data frame. Okay. So you see now, I'm telling the prompt, I'm telling the AI, which is Gemini, I'm telling it to do what? Create a table, okay, of 10 participants. 10 participants. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. 10 participants with their age, okay? So you have age in one column, you have weight in another column, okay? You have height in another column, you have location in another column. So you see here, participant 1, age, weight, height, location, and the rest. Participant 2. So basically a table that looks like this. That's what I'm telling the prompt to write. That's what I'm telling the AI application to write or to develop rather. Okay, so create a data frame of 10 participants with their age, weight, height, location in the UK, gender, and income. Now, this is what I'm telling the AI tool, the AI application to do. So I'll click on enter for it to create the data frame, the data. So this is just a fictitious data. This is just a synthetic data, I would say. Okay. So this is now 10 participants. Let me run this. Okay. So I'll put it here data df. Okay. So now you see it here. Okay. Let me add name. Let me add the name. Okay. The name of the person. Okay. Okay. I'll say name, age, then weight, height. I'll run it again and it will generate the code for me. It will generate the code for me. Now it will incorporate the name of the participant. Okay, it will incorporate the name of the participant. Now you see, if you don't know how to code, can you generate this? Can you think of it? Yes, you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Now, can you change what you're thinking about, type it out into a code? Yes, you can. Leveraging what? Leveraging AI. Now, is AI going to take your job? No. That's exactly where I'm heading to. AI is not going to take your job. It's going to take your job if you don't know how to leverage it. Okay? So now take, for example, me, I've been working in tech, or I know how to use, obviously I've been doing tech, but I've been doing data science, data engineering for a while now. Okay. I would leverage AI for everything I do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. It's only people that don't know how to leverage it that would get phased out. Okay. Now, the good thing about this is the code base that is being generated, the code base that is being generated, it's giving you four different ways. You see it here. Let me circulate so you see it properly. This code base is this particular, the AI tool, the AI application is giving you four ways of doing this. You see this thing that we wrote, this code that was generated is giving us four different ways of doing it. Can a human mind do that in the shorter, in how many seconds? In a few seconds, in like between 2 to 5 seconds. Okay, it generates four ways for you to write this code base. Now, let me show you four ways, four different ways. Can the human mind comprehend? Can the human mind do that in just that split second? And that's where we talk about efficiency. So let's take a look at the four. Okay, I'm going to click on the arrow. This is a different way of doing it. Okay, another way of doing it. And number four, another way of doing it, giving you four different ways of writing that simple code that we have there. Four different ways. Don't you find that, is that not amazing? So while you're thinking of, oh, I code yesterday, I cannot remember my code. AI is giving you four different ways. So why are you trying to, these tools are embedded in what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to show you so many other applications that use the same tool using AI. And I will show you, don't worry. Okay. So you see, the code base that's been generated for us, this is just a data set that we can work with, we can analyze. In the real sense, in the real world, you would not be generating random data set like this. Okay. In a real setting, in a real world, like you're working with an organization anywhere in the world, you will not generate you won't be generating data like this. This is how you generate data. Okay. So we're just using this as a test sample, So if you work as a data engineer or a data scientist, how do you work with data? So now this is our data. Okay, this is our data. The next thing is I want to do some analysis. Okay, I want to do some analysis. Can you guys tell me and just think it? I want you guys to think it and tell me what you want to check out. Think it. Looking at the data sets now, let me run it. Let me run it because I added participant's name. Okay, I'll run this. Okay, so participants. I want you guys to take a look at it. Okay, and tell me what you want to find out. Looking at the data sets, if you want to do some analysis, you have income, you have gender, you have height, you have weight, blah blah blah. What would you like to find out based on participants? Based on participant, what's that thing you would like to figure out? What's that question you would like to ask? Let me see. Name with the highest income. Fantastic. That's a good question. Which of these participants has the highest income? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's generate that first one. Okay. I'll tell it to you based on the data set, based on the data set above. Okay, based on the data set, just to leave it as stats. Based on the data set, let me use it to create a visualization. Create a visualization. Okay, create a visualization of the participants with the highest income. With the highest income. So if I run this now, let's see. You see? All right, so it has created the code base for me. So I just wrote the prompt and it's giving me the Python code for it. So let's run this. And you see, this is George. But now I can't see George with other participants. I can't see George currently with other participants. So, all right, create a visualization of all. I would say of all participants, okay, of all participants based on their income. Okay, based on their income. based on their income. And let me run this one now, yeah? So to give me the code base, I'm going to run it again, okay? And now you see it now, okay? I can see it now. And allow me to zoom out a bit so you can see it now. Okay, so you see it here. I wrote the prompt, created based on the data set, create a visualization of all participants based on their income. Okay, so now I want, like you guys came up with the answers I need. You guys came up with the questions, okay? And I just converted the questions into a prompt. And now I can tell that George is the one with the highest income. If this is not enough for me, let's say I want to arrange it in ascending order or in descending order, I can just tell it to you. I can add it to my prompt. Arrange in descending order. Descending order. Okay, and let's do it again. I'll run the code base again. Okay, let's see. All right. And you see, now it has arranged it in descending order. Now, do you need to be a programmer to do this? All you need to do is the knowledge of what you want to do. Okay, you can convert that knowledge into text, into prompts, like what we just did, and you can convert those prompts into code, confirm the code into your analysis that you need to perform. That's exactly where we are coming from. If I even want to add the numbers, the salaries, okay, add the data labels, okay, I would say it's there, add data labels. So I want the numbers to be there. Okay, so currently I don't know what's George's salary. I can't see it. What is Charlie's salary income? I can't see it. What is Frank's salary? I can't see it. So let's see. I want to add that data label to it. So I'll run it again, and it will give me the same prompt. And you see how we have been modifying our code. Okay, we don't have to be that person. You see now, 55,000, 50,000, 45, 42, all the way to 25,000. So you see, from prompts to code, from code to visualization. So if today you are still contemplating that, oh, I don't want to learn Python because it's hard, okay? Life has moved away from you using Stack Overflow or you using any other application or any other, it's literally there for you, okay? So now that's exactly what we're talking about. So let me take another question. Let me take another question. I don't know. Okay, somebody say main median and mode is very straightforward. I want something that they beat age and income. Do they correlate? That's a very good question. Age and income, do they correlate? So you see the age. So you see participant age 25, 30, 28, 40, 24, 32, all the way. Do people, the younger you are, do you earn more? What do you call it? The younger you are, do you earn more with a younger age, or do you earn less with a larger age? Let's just put it that. Let's just try it out. Okay. So I would say based on the data, create a scatter plot. Let me zoom in a bit, sorry, so you can see my prompt properly. So I'll zoom in to like 150. Okay. I'll say create a scatter plot. Okay. So this is where knowledge comes in. So if you don't know what a scatter plot is, that's what you need to learn. How to interpret, that's what you need to learn. The coding, on the other hand, you still learn coding, okay, because you need to be able to debug. You need to be able to take the code and make it your own. Okay. So based on the data, create a scatter plot, okay, to find the correlation to scatter plot, create a scatter plot on, let's just say on the participant age and income. So let's run this. Let's run this also. So now you can see this, and we can see that the older you get, okay, the increase, the higher your income. The older you get, the higher your income. That's what it's telling us. So you can see this here. Over here, you have the age of the participants. This is the age of the participant. Okay. And over here, you have the income. This is your income. So you see it's ranging from 25,000 to 55,000. So you see the younger they are, the lesser the income. So you see this person is 24 years old. As the person increase in age, as the participant increase in age, the income also increase from 25 to like 30 grand. Okay. So as the income continues to increase, income continues to increase. So basically, this basically denotes a positive correlation. This denotes a positive correlation. So now for people, for you, you need to understand, you need to be able to interpret, okay? You need to be able to interpret what's your code or what's your answer or whatever you're developing. You need to be able to interpret it. So you see, as the age increases, income also increases. So you see now this person is about 35 years old, all right, and you see the income over here. The income is about 55,000. Okay, so the higher your age, the higher your income. Obviously, you have this one here, which we call an outlier. Okay, okay, so this is 24, 28 years old, and obviously it's higher than even any other person. Okay, even people that are older than the person already earns higher than every other person. Okay, so those are the situations that you're looking at. So how did we come? We came from just a prompt. We came from a prompt to what? To get into this visualization that we have here and the interpretation and so on and so forth. Okay. So, and somebody asked a very interesting question. Okay. Somebody asked a very interesting question, which is it just Google Colab? No, it's not just Google Colab. Okay. So if you want to use Gemini, obviously, if you want to use Gemini, you can use Gemini over here. You have the likes of ChatGPT that you can leverage for coding. You have Google Copilot, it's a Google, GitHub Copilot, GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot. Okay. So this is also you leveraging AI for your coding. So you don't need it's not just Google, it's not just Google Colab that has AI embedded. You have all that tools and application as a data scientist, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst that you're going to be leveraging AI in your programming quest. Okay. So somebody's asking, can I create a dashboard with this? No, you can't. You're not using this to create a dashboard. This is for data science, data engineering, and so on. Okay. Let me see if there are other questions. Yeah. So basically, that's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. So from today onward, guys, one thing, if you're not taking anything out of this session is, if you're not taking anything out of this session, please take this. Okay. Learn, gain knowledge. Okay. The programming aspect of if programming has been deterring you from learning transitioning to the tech space, that's no longer an excuse anymore. All right, because you have tools, you have applications that would help you build your code base that you can then use as your own. Okay. And we would help you achieve that. That's exactly what we have in the masterclass to showcase that if you can think about it, if you can think about it, if you can be intelligent enough to think about it, and you can type, you don't have to be the fastest typer to come up with this, okay? And you see how we had to write this prompt. We had to change this prompt severally to get exactly what we are looking for. It's the same way. The moment you know exactly what you're looking for, it's the knowledge now that matters. Okay, how to turn this your visualization into insight, into impact. That's what really matters at the moment. So AI is going to take your job if you don't know what you're doing. If you've never used it or you don't know how to leverage AI, that's where you should be scared. Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to be discussing in this 3 career path. So if you're looking to get into data science, it's very simple. Okay. The data scientist is the person that is in charge of, converting data into insight. Okay. And also in charge of what we call predictive analytics. Okay. In charge of predictive analytics. So you see here, what do you need to learn in data science to get started? Number one, statistics. You need to learn statistics. Statistics is the first thing that you need to learn as a data scientist. Now, from statistics to what? You have to learn statistics. Give me a second. I'm going to get a pen. Okay. So, all right. So you need to learn statistics. That's what you need to start with. You need to learn stats. You learn Excel and Tableau. Okay, that's what you need to learn. You learn statistics, you move into Excel, you move into Tableau for predictive analytics, for descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. You would also get to learn SQL, you get to learn Python. You still learn Python, okay? You're going to learn Python, how to program in Python. You're going to learn how to leverage AI with your programming, okay? And basically, that's why we have this session today to discuss Python, because majority of the people that are looking to transition are usually very scared. Oh, I don't know Python. I don't know that. That's exactly what we discussed. And that's how your program is also going to be designed to ensure that you would be able to program yourself. So you move into exploratory data analysis. You also land on machine learning, supervised, unsupervised. You get to learn both of them, work on different projects. You would also get to work with computer vision and NLP, which is natural language processing. You work on projects in the two critical areas of data science. You would also get to work with GitHub, which is for version control, and also AI tools. These are the tools that you use for your sessions, AI tools. So you leverage ChatGPT, you leverage GitHub Copilot that I talked about, okay? And also you still leverage, the Google Gemini, okay, in your sessions, in the training program. And last but not the least, you would also get to work with Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So you see, when they say, and that's why we call it full stack, okay? That's the reason why we call it full stack data science program, because you're not just learning Python, okay? You are learning stats, number one. You're learning Excel, number two. You're learning Tableau, number three. You're learning SQL, number four. You're learning Python, number five. You're learning explorative data analysis, which are almost in the same vein, which is this is the key data science activity that you need to learn, which I'll call number six. You're learning GitHub, which is seven. You're learning AI, which is number eight, and Microsoft Fabric, number nine. So you see, when they say full stack, you're going to be learning everything together, and you're not just going to be learning them in isolation. They're going to be feeding into one another, giving you that broad concept understanding of what a data scientist will be doing. And that's the reason why you see a lot of our people getting jobs in top firms across the world. Now, the learning timeline for this is for 4 months, 3 months of learning, and 1 month internship. 4 months training program, 3 months of learning, and 1 month virtual internship. Now, the learning timeline, you have the classes every Saturday, morning and evening session, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, if you're in Nigeria or in any other African country. That's exactly what you need to know. So if you're in Europe, okay, if you're in if you're in Europe or you're in Africa, okay, you're in the UK, you're anywhere, it is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And in the evening, it is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. But this evening session is tailored for the guys in Canada and the US. The evening session is tailored for the guys in Canada and the US. That is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we have only classes, on Saturday. Live classes only happens on Saturday. Now on Sunday, we have the Watch Me Do It videos, which are basically self-paced. What you have here is self-paced. Now, this is where you get to own your skills a lot better. Okay. So you working on projects, okay, you're learning based off project-based experience. That's exactly what you'll be doing on Sunday. Okay. So live classes on Saturday and project-based, self-paced, projects is what you work on Sunday. So this is the reason why we call it full stack, because you're going to be learning a lot of tools, a lot of application. You're going to be leveraging to solve critical business problems across different industries and so on and so forth. Now, once you finish this training program, what jobs can you get into? When you finish this training program, what jobs can you get into? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So you can apply for jobs as a data scientist. You can apply for a job as a data analyst. So you can apply for data analyst positions. You can apply for data science, data analyst, sales analyst, supply chain analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, market research analyst, logistics analyst, and so much more. This is just a tip of the iceberg to the number of roles that you can actually apply to. Okay. So that's exactly what you need to understand, that learning this skill does not limit you to just land in a data science role. You can learn it and become a sales analyst, a supply chain analyst, a logistics, pricing, fraud analyst, or whatever role within the analytics domain. That's because it's full stack. You're not just learning Python, you're learning Excel, you're learning Tableau, you're learning SQL, you're learning data science, you're learning AI, and so on and so forth. Okay. So moving on to the next thing, okay, which is the role of data engineering. Okay. Looking at the role of a data engineer. Okay. For people looking to getting started in data engineering, what do you need to learn? All right. Introduction to data engineering, because obviously majority of us that are looking to transition into data engineering. I've never done this before. You've never done this before, and that's where we're coming from. So you're going to be learning the two key technologies you're going to be learning is SQL and Python. SQL and Python are the two fundamental skills, two technical skills that you need to learn as a data engineer. Now, moving on from there, you also get to work with Linux, okay, for batch scripting. You would also get to work with building custom ETL pipelines. You would extract data from a database, from API, from the web. You would also, you'll be able to, and from also third-party applications, you learn how to extract data from database, leveraging AI, APIs, web, and third-party application. All right. So you would also get to work with Apache Spark, Apache Airflow, AWS, GCP. You'll build a project in GCP and also in Azure. I'll show you the platform. I'll show you the side of projects you're going to get to work with. You would also get to work with projects in GitHub. Okay, you will learn how to leverage GitHub for version control. And last but not the least, you would also leverage AI. Okay, and you see, AI is a fundamental part of your learning of the learning curriculum. So ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot is what you get to leverage as the AI tools for building on your code base. So if you are scared of writing code in Python, SQL, you will learn how to use that using the AI. Okay. Now, learning timeline is for 4 months, 3 months of learning and 2 months internship. 3 months of learning and 2 months of internship. Now, your live classes also is just on Saturday, which makes it very flexible for you. All right. So we have one live class just every Saturday morning between it's morning for the guys in Canada and the US. Okay. So that will be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you have the rest of the day to yourself if you're based in Canada or the US. Now, if you're in Nigeria, anywhere in Africa, or you're in Europe, okay, Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, okay, the time for that is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. That's for the guys that want to go into data engineering. We have one live class. So you have the day to yourself, the evening for your learning, and you can go back to what you need to do. So it's just 3 hours on a Saturday, and that's all you need to do. So you also have that self-paced videos to allow you to work on projects at your own pace. The reason why we have the self-paced material there is so that you can build projects. The whole idea for you is not just for you to learn, it's for you to build projects, work on projects as soon and as much project as possible. And I'll talk more about that project as we go on and why you need to build those projects, okay? Now, let's move on to the next. What kind of roles can you apply to as a data engineer? So on the list, we have number one is data engineering. You can apply for data engineering jobs, data architect roles, ETL developer, analytics engineer, database administrator, BI developer, cloud data engineer. Now, this cloud data engineer can be categorized into what we call AWS cloud engineer. Okay, you're gonna get a job as an Azure cloud engineer, a GCP cloud engineer. So there are all the roles. Like I said, you're going to learn AWS, you're going to learn Azure, and you're going to learn GCP. So you're going to be learning all three cloud platforms, giving you a wide spectrum of roles for you to apply to. Last but not the least, big data engineer, which is a very popular role currently in the tech ecosystem. So these are some of the roles, not all. These are still some of the roles that you can apply to once you complete the training program. So it's not like you are limited to the kind of job roles that you can apply to. There are jobs there, and I'm going to show you the jobs, based on your location or anywhere you are. Okay. So the kind of jobs you can apply to. Okay. So now moving on to the next career path, which is cybersecurity analyst. And I'm seeing a lot of people are interested in cybersecurity analyst. Okay. Now, what do you need to learn to get started in cybersecurity analyst? You have introduction to cybersecurity. This is where we introduce you to the key domains and cybersecurity as a career path. Okay, foundation and of computing and networking. Now, this is where you need to start to build on the key foundations of what the whole essence of cybersecurity. Now, if you think about it, what's cybersecurity? Briefly, cybersecurity basically means securing your information, okay, that is on the web. Securing your information that is on the web. How did your data, this information get to the web? Through computing and networking, okay? So if you want to secure your information in the web, okay, on the internet, you need to understand the foundation of computing and networking before you go and start securing. Okay, so you need to know how computing works, how networking works, so you know how to safeguard business information that are in the cloud or in systems and so on and so forth, or in the internet or on the internet rather. So information security principles, you go into that, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, cryptographic basics, this is where you talk about encryption and so on and so forth, cyber threat and attack vectors. Now, these are the key critical areas of security that you would learn. Number one, you will learn network security, all right? How to secure data architecture, network security, and all that. Number two, endpoint security. Number three, web security. Number four, application security. And number five, cloud security. Okay. So number one, you're going to learn network security, endpoint security, web security, how to secure your information and your data on the web, application security, your apps, your devices, and so on. And last but not the least, you have cloud security. Then you move on from there to response forensic and cybersecurity policies and compliance. So these are the things that you'll learn in cybersecurity to get you started in your desired role within cybersecurity. Now, the cybersecurity training program is for 4 months, okay? 3 months of learning and 1 month of internship. 3 months of learning, 1 month internship. Now, the live classes is on Saturday and on Sunday, okay? 3 hours on Saturday and another 3 hours on Sunday. So the timing for cybersecurity is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And you have Sunday classes 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. Saturday, 11 to 2 p.m. West African time. Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. So this is majorly tailored for anybody across the world. Okay, so that's exactly what you need to learn in order for you to get a job, get started. And you're going to be working with various tools, like I mentioned. You're going to be working with Wireshark, you're going to be working with VMware, you're going to work with SQL, Python, Metasploit, Linux, Burp Suite, Zap, Splunk, WebGoats, and so on and so forth. There's so many tools you're going to be working with because you're going to be learning a lot of security features, security engineering, and so on and so forth. So you're going to be learning all this in the training program. Like I said, this course is project driven. So you're going to be working on a lot of projects. And I'm going to take out time to show you some of the projects that you're going to be working on. All right. Somebody saying, why is the DE 2 months internship at cybersecurity is just 1 month? All right. So like I said, for data engineering, it's more is based on project that you get to work on. Okay. All right. So based off the project and kind of the scale at which it works. Okay. So based on our experience, it takes a more longer process designing their own architecture than that of cybersecurity. Every other training program is for 1 month. It's just data engineering. That is for 2 months based off the way it is structured. Okay. So let's move ahead to so for somebody's asking the question, is the Saturday class content same as that of Sunday? No. Okay, there are two different contents. So what you do on Saturday is different from what you do on Sunday. It's a continuation. So it's just what you do on Saturday, continue on Sunday, and that's the way you replicate it week on week. Okay, so there are different materials. I'll show you, don't worry, I'll show you time. So once you complete the training program in cybersecurity, what opportunities are there for you? What jobs can you apply to? Are there job opportunities? 100%. Now, what kind of jobs can you go to? You can definitely work as a cybersecurity analyst. You can work as a SOC analyst, which is Security Operations Center analyst. Okay. compliance analyst, cyber threat intelligence analyst, information security analyst, network security, forensic analyst, and incident report response analyst. Okay. So that's exactly, these are some of the roles that you can apply to once you complete the training program. And that's why I took up my time to, explain each of the curriculum that you would get to work with. And that's because, you're going to work in network security, meaning that you can work as a network security engineer and so on. Endpoint, same thing, web and application security, cloud security. These are things that would give you a bird eye view of how to secure any organization, either it is network, endpoint, web, application, cloud. You would have that experience doing that in the sessions and the class. Okay. All right. So now the internship program is where you start to own your skills. So the training program is still more guided based, even though you're going to be working on projects, it is guided. Now the internship, this is where you are given a real life situation and you are required to come up with a solution. So this is where you now start to build your confidence. You start to own your skills, having gone through the training program. Now you can add this internship to your CV. You can add it to your CV and use it as work experience. Okay. Now, for majority of what are looking to transition, okay, you are probably working as a customer service representative, you're working as an accountant, you're working in finance or whatever department or whatever whatever background you're coming from, and you're looking at that leverage. Okay. Can I tell a recruiter I'm working with analytics 100%? Okay. And that's where a lot of people find it difficult because they don't have that experience. They can't claim experience. So how do you start? Okay, and that's where we come in. So you can put it on our CV. You can put it on your CV that you currently work with analytics and use that as a base of discussing your experience and so on and so forth. Now that's a resume. Number two is in 1 month internship to own your skill, like I mentioned. Now you would get to work on a minimum of 6 projects within that internship period and project review with an expert. Okay, project review with an expert. So you see, everything is designed to make you succeed. Okay, everything here is designed to make you succeed, to having a fulfilled career. So from you leveraging analytics as a work real life experience to putting it on your CV to getting you to work on real life projects, owning your skills, and getting a project expert to review your work and tell you the things that you did correctly and the things you did wrongly, so that you know how it works in the real world. So why should you train with analytics? Very simple. There are 4 things that I'll talk about briefly, which is number 1, our achievements. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, we have proof of concept, people that have gone through the training program and have gotten jobs. I'm going to share them with you shortly. Number 2, industry standard facilitators, people that have a wealth of experience coming to teach you on the things that you don't know and hold your hands and guide you into getting your first job. Number 3, blended training to accommodate every learning type. Okay, this is one that you should be very interested in. So you have the live classes, all our classes, you have the live classes, okay, and you also have the self-paced aspect of the training program. Okay, so you have live classes on one hand and you have self-paced. So for fast learners, for slow learners, this beautiful combination has been a very huge factor to having one class having different learning people with different learning ability, okay, or learning types who exist under one training program. So we have the live classes, okay, in which you can interact with the live facilitators, ask questions, and so on. But you also have the self-paced that, okay, when I'm at home, okay, or I have a free time and I watch some videos to improve myself. Yes, you can. So you have a mixture of both. Okay, so even if you're a slow learner, you have the self-paced to guide you on what you're looking at, and we have the live class also to reinforce the things that you learned in it's a self-paced material. So it's a fantastic way for people to learn and grow in this particular aspect. Okay, and last but not the least, tailored session to position you for success in the job space, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and we'll call it a day. Okay. All right, so when we're talking about tailored session to position you for success, I'm just going to talk about them in a jiffy. All right, CV review would help you revamp your CV. I don't have experience, I have experience, whatever the case might be, would help you review your CV and fine tune it to get you what you are looking for. Number two, LinkedIn optimization. Okay, so help you optimize your LinkedIn to get you in the faces of top recruiters within your location or even outside your location. Number three, Upwork optimization. This is where we help you land freelance gigs on Upwork. Upwork is, I think, the number one platform at the moment for freelancers within the tech space. Number four, navigating the job market. Okay, now what type of roles can you apply to? Where can you apply for these jobs? These are the things and more that we're going to be discussing in the navigating job market sessions that we're going to be having. Number five, job interview preparation. This is where we prepare you for the interviews. Now, if you have a good CV, you have a good LinkedIn profile, okay, in which people, recruiters within and outside your location can see your profile. They see your CV, your LinkedIn stands out, your CV stands out. You know how to navigate the job market. You will likely get calls from recruiters and employers. So now, how do you prepare for those interviews? That's exactly what we're going to talk about. Okay. So how do you answer questions during an interview? You see a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have Canada experience. I don't have UK experience. Oh, I don't have international experience." It's because you don't know how to answer questions. That's the reason why you are likely going to be lagging behind. For a very good example, okay. I like to use myself, okay. So when I relocated initially, the first place I went, I ever relocated to was in Ireland, okay. And it took me a period of 3 months plus to actually land my first job. And it was very difficult because the way I was answering questions during the interview was putting me at a disadvantage. So take, for example, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Seems a very basic question that you feel like you can just ramble a couple of things and you feel that is okay. But in the foreign world or in the when you relocate, you get to see that these questions are very important. They are not just random. They are not just random questions that you can answer. So if you're coming with the mindset, you're coming from Nigeria, or you're coming from any African country to, Canada, US, UK, or anywhere in Europe, and you're looking at answering this question like you were answering it back home in your home country, you would likely struggle to get a job. Okay? Tell me about a time you used to build, you analyze the data or you build an ETL pipeline, or tell me about, your experience around endpoint security. And then you start to babble something also, okay? That's exactly what a lot of people are suffering from, thinking that they don't, thinking that they need international experience. You just need to know how to answer these questions during an interview. All right. So take for example, let me just spill the tea, a little bit of tea for you guys. So answering the question, tell me about yourself. Okay. We use the SEAT approach. SEAT is an acronym that stands for, you talk about your skills first of all, you talk about your experience, okay? You talk about your achievements, okay? You talk, and last but not the least, you talk about your traits, the type of person that you are, okay? So in this structure, this is what has worked tremendously, not just for our participants, for even me myself, okay? Now, this is for tell me about yourself. Now, tell me about a time, situational based question. Tell me about a time you built an ETL pipeline. Tell me about a time you built a machine learning model. Tell me about a time you worked on a project that entailed, encryption, cryptography, and all that. How do you answer this question? Situational based question. You use what you call the STAR technique, which talks about the situation, first of all right? You talk about the task that you performed. You talk about the action, okay. And last but not the least, you talk about the result. Now, there's still more that you need to infuse into each and every of this. You just don't talk about the situation, task, action, and result. There are little tips and tricks that you need to infuse into each aspect to give you that higher advantage during the recruitment process. The same thing is it. You just don't just talk about skills in general. There are things that you still need to infuse. All right. And that's exactly what you're going to be getting for free during the job interview preparation session. So if you have a good CV, you have a good LinkedIn profile, you know how to navigate the job market. When you know how to combine these three together, you will likely get a job interview. Now, how do you not prepare yourself for that interview? That's exactly where we come in to teach you how to answer questions during an interview. Don't go there and babble. When I was in Nigeria, I was working for a company, and in this company, they were losing customers. So while they were losing customers, it's true. Your stories are not. They're not captivating. They're not very captivating to convince the recruiter to give you the job. Okay, so that's exactly where we come to teach you how to sell yourself better during an interview. Now, this is coming from lots of failures from our own end. We have failed so many times in the sense that we have applied for jobs, we've gotten a lot of rejection, and we have learned from those rejections. So you don't need to go through those rejections also. And that's exactly where we come in to teach you what you need to do to get a job. Okay, so now I've worked in Ireland, I've worked in the UK, I've worked in the companies that are based in Germany, I've worked with companies based in the US, Canada, and literally across the world. How am I able to achieve this based off my failures, based on the things I've learned over time? Okay. Now, the last thing on the first level is recommendation letter. So, recommendation is very important when you're trying to apply for a job. Okay, I will provide you with those recommendation letter. Okay, weekly mentorship session. This is where we bring in people that are experienced within the space to come and speak to you to show you exactly how to get started. And last but not the least, on the job support. So all of you that are scared that if I get a job, will I know how to do it? That's exactly what we are doing here. So get the job. We will still support you even after you get the job. So you see, everything that we have talked about today has been designed so that you can get a job and you can succeed even after you've gotten the job. Okay? And that's exactly what we'll be talking about that's exactly what we stand for when you're talking about doing a training with us at Analytics. Okay? So other opportunities working freelancing. Okay, so I've created a couple of videos here that you can watch at your spare time, how to apply for remote jobs. Okay, so we've had several sessions on how to apply for
boost your revenue and
job. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. Okay, in a few, just I've created the videos so you can see me here. This is me here talking about how to apply for remote jobs. So it's a very 3-hour session. You can see here is a 3-hour session talking about how to apply for remote jobs. How to apply for remote jobs. So either in cybersecurity or in data engineering, data science, and so on, this will put you through how to apply for remote jobs. So you can see there are 4 videos there, literally 4 videos to show you that there are remote jobs. If you're looking to get into data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity, there are remote jobs. So watch these videos and they will take you through how to use LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Upwork, Indeed, and so many more platforms, okay, are discussed in those videos, okay, are discussed in those videos. All right, so all you need to do is watch the videos and you're good to go. So we have our next course starting on the 6th of July, 2024, and I want you to be a part of it. Okay, so currently we're running a last mile discount. Okay, we call it the last mile discount because this training program is going to be starting next week, Saturday. All right, we're looking to having you on board. Okay, well, we're literally waiting for you to have you on board. Now, the discount is only available for the first 20 people to register. Okay, the class is nearly filled up, so you want to secure your position as soon and as fast as possible. All right, so if you're looking to get into data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity analyst, so these are the fees discounted. So rather than you paying the full amount, we are running a 20% discount for you to get started. So looking at what you have here, if you're looking to, instead of you paying $750 or €625 or £625 rather, €730 or 1,125 Canadian dollars or 900,000 naira, you can actually pay $600. You could pay £500, 580 euros, 900 Canadian dollars, or 720,000 naira. Now, the good thing about this is you can pay in 2 installments. That's a good thing. So now the full amount, you would have to pay it in full. The key word there is full amount. You have to pay it in full. Now, with the discounted amount, you could actually pay in 2 separate installment. You can pay in 2 installments. So the first installment that you need to pay today to secure your class is $400 or $350 pounds or 400 euros or 600 Canadian dollars or 500,000 naira. Now, second payment, $200, 150 pounds, 180 euros, 300 Canadian dollars or 220,000 naira. The second payment can be made 1 month into the training program. You see here, balance of the second payment after 1 month into the training program. So all you need to secure a space now is the first amount, which is $400 or 350 pounds or 400 euros or 600 Canadian dollars or 500,000 naira. Okay, so if you're looking to get it started now, please, this is the best time for you to get started and secure your position now. Now is the best time. All right. So basically, that's the discount that we have running at the moment. If you're looking to get it started, please take advantage of the discount. So if you're going into data science, data engineering, or cybersecurity, take advantage of it right now. So now, looking at how to make payment, I'm going to walk you through how to make payments in a few minutes, and then we call it a day. Okay, I said I was going to do it in 1 hour, 30 minutes. It's just about an hour, 30 minutes. So I'll soon be done. Okay, so to analytics, once you click on the link, okay, so you see my colleagues are dropping the links in the chat. I want to drop it singly, so you can see exactly the link in there. So all you need to do is click on that link I sent in the chat and the same link my colleagues are dropping on the chat. So all you need to do is click on the link, okay? And you'll see the buttons there. First of all, you can chat with, you can also still chat with us at Analytics. All right. You can gain access to all the program brochures. Okay. You can gain access to all the program brochures. So once you click on that, it takes you to the brochures that are detailed, curriculum wise. Okay. They're detailed. So if you're looking to get into data engineering, the curriculum will tell you exactly what you'll be learning in each of the modules that you have there. So go through it and, take, for example, I talked about data engineering fundamentals. What would you be learning? You'll talk about introduction to data engineering, why data engineering concepts, the 5 years of big data, and so on. Python programming, what would you be learning in Python programming? SQL, what would you be learning? And so on and so forth. So that's exactly it's very detailed, talking about everything you've been learning. Same thing with data science, same thing with cybersecurity. Everything is embedded in the curriculum, what you'll be learning one after the other. Okay? Basically, a very detailed approach to what you'll be learning in class. Now, payments, all you need to do, you can do a direct transfer. You can do a direct transfer. So if you're in Canada, the Interact that we use is finance@tenalytics.org. So all you need to do is just, for Interact, finance@tenalytics.org. For the pound account, we have the account number there. For the euro account, we have the euro account there. USD account is also there. And also the Naira account if you want to pay directly, you want to do a direct transfer. So if you're in Germany, you're in France, you have the euros account. If you're in the UK, we have the pound account. If you're in the US, we have the USD. And if you're in Canada, we have the Interact that you can use to make payments. For card and online payment, all you need to do is just select any of the career paths that you're looking to get into. Okay, so if you're looking at cybersecurity, for example, click on cybersecurity. Okay, and it takes a few seconds to load. So once it loads, you would see the price based on your region. Okay, so based on your region. So if you're in Canada, you see it in Canadian dollars. If you're in the UK, you'll see it in pounds. If you're in Germany, you'll see it in euros, and so on and so forth. If you're in Nigeria, you see it in Naira, and so on. Okay, so now you see the suggested price currently is £500, which is the total discounted amount. So you see here £500, the total discounted amount. But you just need to secure your position with £350. So you don't need to pay everything in full. You can actually just secure with £350 in order for you to get started. So all you need to do is type in the 350, click on reserve a seat, put in your information, make your payment, and your slots are secured. So that's all you need to do. All you need to do is select any of the career paths that you're interested in and put in the first amount, the minimum amount, the first payment that you're looking at, 400 or 500, 300, £350 or 400 euros based off, if you're in Nigeria, it's a 500,000 naira, okay? And that's all you need to do. Okay, so secure your discount as soon and as fast as possible. Okay, so once you make payment, take a screenshot of the payment and upload your receipts. This is very, very important. So once you've made payment, please ensure you upload your receipts. So you see the button is literally the third button. Okay, you see upload your receipt. Yeah. Click on this link. It takes you to a Google form where you can put in your information. Okay, so once we confirm your payment, then you will gain access to the LMS. Okay, so we have our LMS, okay, 10 analytics. So once you make payments, we confirm payments, you would have access to the LMS. So now with the LMS, you have access to the self-paced aspect of the training program. You have access to the self-paced aspect of the training program. So if you take a look at this, this is what you get access to. So talking about the introduction to data engineering, what is data engineering, so on and so forth. Basically, this is an introduction to data engineering. So you see me on the top left, top right corner of the screen explaining this concept to you. Okay, so basically all the concept that you need to do, ETL, ELT, data format, acid and base, data pipeline designs, and so on and so forth. Basically, everything is discussed in this self-paced aspect. So, and that's why we call it self-paced. That's why we call it watch me do it. So, moving on to Python, also, you do the same thing. You have access to the LMS where you can learn at your own pace. Okay, the live classes is at the pace, is instructor led, so it's instructor paced. All right, but with the sessions that you have here, with the videos that you have here, the self-paced videos allow you to learn at your own pace. So this is for data engineering on the other hand. So you see SQL, and you see for SQL you have different case studies there. So you have Metro Bank, meaning that you are gaining experience using SQL within a bank. So if the recruiter is asking you a question now, just take for example, oh, tell me about your experience with SQL. Okay, you can clearly say, oh, yeah, I've worked with SQL based on my experience. I work on projects in the bank. I work on projects in FMCG. Where you know, when you have all those, you would have all those case studies. They are all embedded in here. And you see this. This is a Bonga e-commerce. Okay, SQL case study. So let's take a look at this particular case study for the guys in data engineering. So you see this. You are a database administrator at Metro Bank, a regional bank that is expanding its services. The bank wants to manage customer information, accounts, and transactions efficiently using a database system. We have been hired to build and deploy a relational database management system, RDBMS. So that's exactly where you now come in. And then you start to do all the things that's all you need to do as a data engineer. Okay, and that's basically the same format you go through for all the projects that you get to work on. So from SQL to Python to working with API. So you see web scraping, static website. Let's take a look at this. What's the case study overview? Case study overview. Everything is case study led. It's case study led. So you see here the business problem in the dynamic and competitive landscape of e-commerce. E-commerce is e-commerce ability to stay ahead hinges on capacity to quickly gather and analyze market data. Traditionally, the process of collecting data on product offerings, competitor pricing, and market trends has been manual, time-consuming, and prone to inaccuracies. So basically, these are the ways you start to gain experience. Okay, so you see what are the current things that you need to work on. I'm just going to show you in a few seconds. Objective: automate data collection, enable real-time market analysis, and optimize pricing and inventory. So you see all these things are what you will be doing in this case study. All right. So you have another case study for static website, web scraping for a static website, and also web scraping for a dynamic website. Okay, so you do end-to-end data engineering project, Google Cloud Platform, Google GCP, Azure, and so on and so forth. And that's the same thing you get for all the programs that we discussed today. Full stack data science is the same thing. You have Excel and statistics, you have forecasting in Excel, you have Tableau, you have SQL, you have all the self-paced materials that you're looking for in here. All the self-paced materials, all the things that you've been working on are all embedded in the materials that you get here. Okay, so this is where you start to learn forecasting in Tableau. So you see here, you're learning how to forecast in Tableau. See me on the top right corner again, going through how to build forecasts using Tableau. So these are all project-led. These are all project-led training program. Same thing with cybersecurity. Just go to cybersecurity. Okay, so you see it here also, all instructor-led business foundation case studies for this. All right. So you go into this and you start to go through all instructor-led. Let's take a look at this particular case study. This is cybersecurity for the guys interested in cybersecurity. I'm looking at the business challenge. Okay, yeah. So this is it here. So Elcris Limited is small to medium-sized enterprise. That's an SME basically. The company started as a one-man business, but has grown significantly and now employs 300 staff members across various departments. As the business has expanded, so as its operational needs. Currently, the organization is managed almost entirely by its CEO, and in which you find out this is the case for majority of the startups that you get to work with. So the key thing now is, what do you need to do as a cybersecurity analyst on this job, as a cybersecurity analyst? What is your job here? Okay, to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and ensure competitive advantage, Alchris Limited aims to undergo a comprehensive digital transformation. So that's where you now come in as a cybersecurity analyst. So the current challenges: lack of digital infrastructure, scalability issues, data security risk, competitive disadvantage, operational inefficiencies. So now, how do you now create all this? How do you create a solution to this? So now, the key solution to this is develop a what? Develop a proposal for Elcris Limited's digitalization journey. Okay, that was a tongue twister for me. I don't know. Okay, so and that's what you're going to be working on, and that's what you would essentially cover in all the modules that you have there, from information security principles, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, and so on and so forth. Now, this is the self-paced aspect of the training program. You still have your life classes, and the life classes is where you get to work on an additional level of projects, okay, with an instructor in front of you telling you what you need to learn. Now, these are the guys that started this month, the month of June. The guys that started at the 1st of June. So we run our training programs every month. Okay. So the guys that started in the month of June, these are the guys, this is what they've learned so far. Let's take a look at it just in the last 4 months. 1 month, I mean. In the last 1 month, or the last couple of weeks, not even up to a month. Okay. They started on the 6th of June. They started on the 6th of June, if I'm correct. On the 8th of June, sorry. On the 8th of June. So you see here, installation. This is the reason why you need to register early, so you can get all the things that you need to install all sorted out via VirtualBox, Kali Linux, Anaconda, Wireshark, creating a profile on TryMeAC, Virtual Lab, and so on. So all the things that you need to learn, all the things that you need to install has to be installed before the training program starts. So onboarding materials, you need onboarding materials to get to your first class in computing, foundation in computing, watch me do videos on networking. So you see there, let me show you what of the videos are. So these are classes on how to use Cisco Packet Tracer to build networks and all that, to test, to build, and to assess. So basically, this is part of the practicality of the training program. So when we say it is case study driven, case study based, this is exactly what we're talking about. All right. You're testing, you're assessing, you're reporting. So you have a full bird eye view of what you would do as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay. So these are the things and more what you'll be working on in the training program. So you have the live classes Saturdays and Sunday, introduction to cybersecurity. You have introduction to cybersecurity classes, information security principles, and all the sessions are recorded. All sessions are recorded. Every session is recorded. So if you take a look at this now, this is the instructor leading the session and telling them exactly, basically going through the training program and telling them what they would learn, what to learn, and so on and so forth. And this is where you can ask questions, confirm certain doubts, and so on and so forth. So all the training programs are like this. For data science, data engineering, it's the same thing, all project driven, all project driven. Okay, all project driven. You have the live classes. So you will have access to the LMS and you would also have access to the live classes platform, which is the Google Classroom. So you have access to the the self-paced aspect. You also have access to the live classes. So if you're looking to get it started, please and please, this is the last call. Like I said earlier, this is more or less just an avenue for you to join the program starting on the 6th of July, 2024. All right. So I'm sure you guys have had a wonderful time today. All right. And please ensure you secure your discount now. All right. The discount allows you to pay in 2 installments, like I said earlier. And if you're looking to get it started, please start now. All right. I'll take a few questions. And I think on that note, I'm going to call it a day. So, Demola, I think you've raised up your hand a couple of times, so I'm going to take your question first off. Demola, yes, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, good evening. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, thanks for this session. It was really impactful and I really appreciate it for your time. My question is, you've mentioned or you've shown a way to be able to code for those of us that are scared to code. Just thinking out loud in an interview session, would we be allowed to use that tool to be able to code, or what is it like? Because if we don't know how to code and that is the way we learned how to code, is it possible we still get the job without knowing how to learn the major coding? Or I don't know if you get my question, please.
Okay, very, very brilliant question. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question with a practical view. I'm going to show you how you're going to learn so you understand exactly how the learning problem works. So you take, for example, for the guys in data engineering or data science, okay? Now, you see there, Python data types and structures, getting started with Python, okay? So you still learn Python, you still learn programming, okay? You still learn programming, like you learn programming, which is you going through the things that you need to learn, okay? Because like I said, it's knowledge that you need to seek, okay? Now, thinking about the coding aspect, AI will give you the code, okay? But most times you still need to understand the code and make it your own. Okay, so like what we did today now, I kept changing the prompt to give me a better code base and so on and so forth. All right. So you're still going to learn Python. We're going to be learning Python, and you're also going to be learning how to leverage Python and AI tools like ChatGPT, the likes of GitHub Copilot, Google Colab, Gemini, and so on, in making you write your codes faster. Now, most interviews, like you to ask the question you asked, would not only a very few organization would want you to code in front of them. Okay. Majority of the organizations now would give you an assessment. Okay. Will give you an assessment and ask you to present your findings. Okay. Now it's during this presentation they start to ask you questions. Okay, that if you truly did it yourself, you should be able to answer the question. But now that's where I talked about knowledge, you knowing exactly what you're doing. And that's exactly the approach in which we're taking it. So you still learn Python, all right? It's not like you won't learn how to do your Python, but you're not cramming how to code, all right? So take, for example, any experienced programmer that you still ask, okay? You'll still find out that they still Google things, okay? They still Google. Everybody still goes ahead to Google, okay, how do you convert a data frame? How do you pivot a data frame? How do you upload? How do you export? People still Google these things. Okay. So most developers, most organizations know that access to information, okay, is available because on the job, you can Google these things to find what you're looking for. Currently, I still recruit I've recruited for, organizations. I've also interacted with recruiters. I've helped recruiters get target clients and so on and so forth. So one thing that you need to have at the back of your mind is the knowledge. Okay, so you are still going to learn Python, okay, like you see here. I'm still going to walk. You can see this is the live, this is the self-paced video that is walking you through Python. So that when ChatGPT gives you a code, or when Google Gemini gives you a code, or any other AI tool gives you the code, you can make it your own. So you're still going to learn Python. All right. The only thing is just that you're going to be leveraging AI, all right, in enhancing your programming capacity. Okay, so if you can write a bare minimum code in 5 minutes, okay, just your ChatGPT, your Google Gemini would help you generate that code in a faster, in a more efficient way. If you develop a code, okay, and you want to optimize it, you can use ChatGPT, you can use the tools to optimize your code. So you see, you are still going to learn Python. It's not like you're not going to learn it and say that you would rely on AI 100%. No, all right, you can't rely on AI 100%. You need context. Okay. You need to understand what you're doing before you go ahead to start coding and all that. So that's exactly where we're coming from. I don't know if that makes sense. So you're still going to learn Python, okay? But it's going to be easier, it's faster, it's more efficient for you to learn in a better manner. And that's exactly what we're going to go through. So Demola, I hope that answers your question. Okay. I'm not sure
Yes,
if
it
that's the same.
does. But there's one more question. Um,
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
is the training for the data engineering, is it different from the one for data scientists?
Oh, yes, very different. Okay. So the
Okay.
curriculums are very different. So take, for example, just to go back to the brochure. If I will click on, sorry, not upload the receipt. Okay. So if I go to program brochures, okay, the curriculum for data engineering is entirely different from the one of, the data engineer and the data scientist. So give me a second, full stack data science. All right, so cybersecurity for data engineering, you see the curriculum here is you're starting with foundation to data engineering, Python, SQL, batch commands using Linux, data modeling, pandas, so on and so forth. Data science on the flip side, you're going to be learning this for machine learning and predictive analytics. So you're doing introduction to data science, Microsoft Excel, statistics, predictive analytics, Python, Tableau, SQL, and so on. So they're very different curriculums, very different programs. So it's very different.
Well,
I hope that makes
just to,
sense.
for people that are new to this whole line and we
Yeah.
don't really know the difference between, like, what to choose between engineering and scientist, what
Okay.
will be advice? Because
Okay.
it's everything is new. It's
Everything
just
is new.
you're the expert. So what's
Yeah.
the thing that, because nobody would like to sit at a place where there is no opportunity. So what's your take on that, please?
Okay. Fantastic. So I'm going to answer the question in the just give me a second. I'm going to try to create a blank screen so I can quickly explain it in like 2 minutes and then move on to the next thing. All right, so talking about data engineering and data science, so you have, I'll call this in acronyms, DE and DS. Now, these two guys deal with data. They are both, they work with data. They both work with data. That's something that you need to understand. They both work with data. Now, the data scientists need data for three things. They need data for three things. Okay. Number one is descriptive, to describe an event that has happened, to diagnose. I'm going to explain this, don't worry. Diagnostic, okay. And last but not least is predictive analytics. Okay. So these are the three things they need it for. Okay. But you see, these guys need data. They need data to do all these three things that they are doing. Okay, they need data to do all these three things. Now, a typical example is, say, for example, you work in, um, let's say you work in a bank.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay, let's say you work in a bank. Okay, so in the bank, when you're talking about transactions in the bank, if you want to initiate a transaction today, Demola, where would you go to? You can either go to your ATM to send money, to receive money, blah, blah, blah. All right. You could go to POS, especially for the guys in Nigeria. All right. Or you could use your mobile app. You could use a mobile app. Okay. But now these data scientists, they need data. Let's say they need transaction data. They're the ones that need transaction data to probably detect fraud, to detect if a transaction is fraud, to detect fraud. Okay, to detect fraud. They need data. Okay, they need all the transactions from ATM, POS, and mobile app, so that when something happens on this either of this platform, they can easily detect if this transaction is fraudulent or not fraudulent. Okay.
Okay.
Now, they need this data. That's one thing you need to understand. They need data to be able to do all these things that they're doing. Now, who makes this data available for them? That's the data scientist. Who makes the data available for them? That's where the data engineer comes in. Okay. So you see, these guys need data. That's what they need. I'll just put it here. They need data. Okay. So what the data engineer would do is to make this data available for the data scientist. So you see this, all the data on in the ATM is stored somewhere. Okay. All the data on the ATM is stored where? On the ATM database. I'll call it ATM DB, ATM database. POS, all the transaction on POS is stored in POS database. All the data from your mobile app is also stored in the, I'll say ME database. That's mobile app database. Okay. A very simple way of explaining this. If you look at yourself as an individual, okay, you have your mobile phone, you have your laptop, you have, let's say, your tab. Okay, so you see that whatever you store on your mobile phone is stored on your mobile phone. Whatever you do on your mobile phone is stored on your mobile phone. Whatever you do on your laptop is stored on your laptop. Whatever you do on your tab is stored on your tab. So that's why sometimes you find you want to move a picture from your mobile phone to your tab. You have to either Bluetooth or you share on your whatever iCloud it or whatever they do for iPhone. Okay, so you see now for this situation, everything is what we call, they are all in three systems, three different applications. Okay. The data engineer is the person that harmonizes this data into what we call a data warehouse. Okay. So this data engineer builds what we call ETL pipelines. Okay. ETL pipelines, which stands for extract.
Transform and load.
Bye. Okay. And you talk say you don't know. All right. And load. That's fantastic. I love that. Okay. So they'll build this pipeline, ETL pipeline. So the first thing they would need to do, is to extract the data from the database. So they'll extract all the data. So that's the first stage, to extract. Okay. They'll extract. Okay. They'll extract. The next point is to transform. So when you extract the data, majority of the time you would have either missing values or the structure of the data is not in the right format. There's so many things that could happen. I mean, even you, when you go to market to buy raw materials, okay, to cook your food, you still get home to wash it because it might be dirty. Even if you see the woman wash it or the man wash it in the market, you see you just have trust issues. You don't know where the water is coming from. You just need to remodel, you need to clean that particular food item. That's exactly what you need to do. So you transform to remove unwanted data, to clean the data, and so on and so forth. Okay. So last but not the least, once you clean the data and you are done, what do? You load the data into the data warehouse. Okay. So the next thing, you load the data. All the three sources now are in one central location. Okay. Now, this is where the data scientists will now take the data from. Okay, this is where they get the data from that they will now use to detect if a transaction is fraudulent or not fraudulent. Okay, So the data scientist is the person that does what we call descriptive analytics, basically using data to answer the question on what happened, to describe an event. So basically to describe, so what happened, Kilo Shele, Yoruba, so you understand that. So what happened? What happened last month? How many transactions came in? ATM transaction. How many POS transaction? How many mobile app transaction? What was the total transaction? What, basically answering questions like that. How many customers transacted on our on our mobile app last month, 3 months ago? That's basically what happened. But now, the next one is to diagnose why. Why did it happen? So if month on month you see that majority of the guys are using more mobile app than POS, okay, you need to figure out why people are using mobile app than POS. I need to know why, because the moment I know why, I can continue to drive that initiative. I can start to create new products, new initiative in order for me to drive that usage of the mobile app. Okay, if people are using less of POS, I can devise another strategy to see how can we, find out why people are using less of POS, develop a new product based on the insights, and then drive the usage of POS also. All right. So diagnostic analytics is now looking at why and some certain things happening in the business. So if you look at it, ATM, maybe POS is more in Nigeria and mobile app is less. Why do people use more POS than mobile app to transact? That's exactly what we're talking about. Then predictive analytics is now where you're not detecting fraud. Okay? You're detecting that whenever a new transaction comes in, okay, your machine learning algorithm, okay, your statistical model, okay, can easily can look at the transaction, okay, and assess, is it fraudulent or not fraudulent? That's the job of the data scientist, okay? And that's where the interesting thing comes in. That's where you start to talk about machine learning, statistical modeling, and that's why statistics is very important for the data scientist. I don't know, does this make sense? So the job of the data engineer is basically to move data from data, what we call a data source, okay, from a data source to what we call a data destination, okay? Basically just moving data from one place to the other, making it available for either the data analyst or the data scientist or any other data stakeholder within the organization, okay? Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Thank you so
All right.
much. Well,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Well, all right, awesome. So that's exactly, so you see, that's why they need to learn two different things. Okay, so the data analyst, the data scientist, the data, what do you call them, engineer, and the data scientist both need to learn something very different. You see, the data scientist would learn statistics, Tableau, predictive analytics in Excel, SQL, Python, and so on, machine learning, computer vision, GitHub, and all that. While the data engineer focuses majorly on using SQL and Python. So you see, those are like the two major technologies they need to learn. No Tableau, no SQL, no Tableau, no Excel, no Microsoft Fabrics, none of those analytical tools. This guy is, or this lady is just in charge of moving data from one place to the other. All right. So very wonderful question from Demola. Ademola.
So any
I hope
of
you're
this,
good.
does it come with any certification, please? I know that my question, just this is last one. Any of this
Oh,
courses
your
come
questions are
with,
valid.
say that again?
All your questions are valid. So I usually showcase all these questions with a real life. Where are you based, Ademola?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, I know you're from Nigeria. Are you based in Nigeria?
I'm based in UK.
Okay, fine. So take, for example, you're looking for a job. Which of these three programs, data science, data engineering, I'm going to show you. Nigerians, Africans, we have been cajoled for certificates, and most people are looking to getting started. Feel certificates are important, and I'm going to show you real time. So if you're in UK, I'm just going to go to read.co.uk for you to see yourself job postings in data engineering, data science, even cybersecurity, and let's see if there are job roles that will require you to have certification. Let's start with data engineering. See, even the first one that you have there is data engineer. So let's look at data engineer, okay? All right, and let's take a look at it practically. Does this make sense? Practically, Let's look at what organizations are looking for. Okay. So I'm going to be looking at jobs that are posted just within. So just today alone, just today, that's today your time. I don't know. I think it should be around 10 p.m. now your time. Just today alone, let's see exactly. You have 154 jobs posted just today, data engineering. Not yesterday, not last week, not in the last 5 days, just one day, 154 jobs on only one job site. We've not looked at LinkedIn. We've not looked at CV Library. We've not looked at what I call it, JobServe. There's so many other job boards. So you see, there's a high demand for these job roles that you're looking at getting into. This is for the guys in the UK. If you're looking for remote, I would also show you. So looking at the first one, this was posted 3 hours ago, 65 to 75,000 pounds. Okay, let's take a look at the requirement for this role. Now, tell me where you would see certificates. This is just the first one. Now, certificate has either so many people. I want to go and get what do you call it? I don't know what certificate you want to get. Okay, I want to go and look for certificates. I'm looking for a program that will give me certificate. Udemy, Udacity. It's not relevant. These guys are looking for what? They are looking for experience. So how does certificate translate to experience? That's the key question. Every one of you that are looking to get this started need to understand. How does certificate give you experience? Do you think they want to? Do you think they would say, "Oh, because of experience, because you have a certificate, we will take a chance on you"? It's that's it. That's the biggest gamble that anybody of you should be making. So you see, here, experience in data engineering slash architecture, proficient in SQL and what? Python. Literally the same thing I've been saying here since morning. SQL Python for the guys going into data engineering. Very fantastic. All right. Experience with BigQuery, that's basically Google Cloud Platform, everything Google Cloud, data warehouses and data lake. And knowledge in what? Real-time ETL pipelines I talked about. Familiarity with what? Data from Airflow, GCP. Just take a look at the curriculum. Let me show you the curriculum again so it doesn't feel like I am the one painting a still. But yeah. Okay, this is data science, data engineering. So what do you have here? Apache Airflow, AWS, I told you about GCP, Azure, and so on, GitHub, ETL pipelines, ELT pipelines, so on. So experience with GCP services, knowledge of Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, experience in agile environment, knowledge of what Spark, PySpark. These are basically the things that you need to learn. Okay, not certificates. Let's take a look at another one. You should not look at I only looked at one. Let's take a look at the next one. Posted 3 hours ago, another recruitment firm. Okay, let's see if there's any requirement or any what do you call it, certificate that you're looking for. Implement what required skills and what experience. So, guys, if there's nothing, if all the time that we're talking about today, if there's something, please, guys, focus on projects, project-based experience. These guys are looking for guys that are looking for experience, not certification. So even if you have I mean, I have a master's, but I have never, for once, it has never, I used master, everybody's Japa, okay? So that is not a requirement. It's not a requirement. If you ever done a master's program, you find out that it is useless. You don't even learn anything from the master. So why would that give you an advantage in the job market? So experience with transactional reporting solutions, experience in dimensionality modeling, data modeling that we talked about, hands-on experience with AWS technologies, experience in Python scripting and automation, data tasks, CI/CD. So guys, it's all certificates. Let's take a look at the data scientists on the other hand. I know I've already spent longer than I expected. So but let's see if I can just do data scientists. And even for guys looking for a remote job, I'll probably just do one for a remote job. And I think I'll call it a day. Scientists. I'll probably do cybersecurity for remote guys. Okay. So at least I've covered a good number of them. Pricing and data scientist, software engineer, operation analyst, head of digital innovation, senior agile, Angular developer. So let me just say data scientist. This is okay. All right. So let me just take out, let me see for these ones that are looking at data scientist. This was principal data scientist, senior data scientist, and so on and so forth. Let's just take out, let me just look for a principal, okay, data scientist. This one is programming, Python, okay, knowledge of data manipulation, ability to communicate, certification, nothing, okay. So these are the things that you need to understand getting started in any of this career path. So then, like I said, I'm going to do one remote. My favorite remote place for remote jobs is built in. Built in, that's the name of the platform. So you'll find it there. For the guys looking, if you're currently in anywhere across the world and you're looking for remote jobs, either in Canada or the US, okay? So I usually try to use United States, okay? So latest tech jobs personalized for you. So if you're looking for a job, anyway, the videos I provided discussed how you can use all these platforms. Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much time. So cybersecurity engineer or analyst, whatever of them, see jobs, and you see these are remote jobs in the US that you can get into. Okay, so you have a senior cybersecurity engineer, cybersecurity analyst, you have threat detector engineer, cybersecurity analyst. I see them 22 days ago. This was 22. Oh, this is a bit long ago. 20 hours ago, 15 hours ago, 5 days ago, 5 days ago, yesterday. These are all remote jobs, and this is just one platform. I mean, there are other platforms that you can leverage. Okay, so take a look at this also. You'll find out that certificates, all these things that you're looking at are all not, very, very. It's experience, experience, experience. 8 years experience, 8 years experience, ability to explain common threats, knowledge of best practice. So, guys, it's not certificate that will get you the job. Okay, experience. These guys are looking for people that will come and eat the ground running, like our president. Okay, so get experience. Look for how you can build projects. Project-based experience is what you should be looking out for, and that's exactly why we're telling you that for the classes are project-based. They're project-driven. All the things you're going to be working on: case study, case study, case study, looking at cybersecurity, looking at data engineering, looking at data science, all project based. So now, how do you now translate that project based experience into life experience? Like this job is looking for 8 years experience. I mean, I don't have 8 years experience. How can I apply for this job? Very simple. Work on projects that are in tune with this and leverage that project based experience as experience. They did say work experience that you need, they did say job placement, job experience. They said experience. How do you gain this experience? It's subjective. So you don't have to have won a bag, a school bag, or carried a purse or carried something to the office so that you know that oh yes, I shuffled to work. I entered the public transportation to gain this experience. No, that's not what they said. They said 8 years of experience. The 8 years there means that you are confident you've been doing this for a while. So you can actually work on projects in the next 3-4 months and gain that industry experience that you're looking for. Okay, and claim and use your past experience, tailor your past experiences. So if you're working as a carpenter, how do you not translate it to cybersecurity? That's where your CV review comes in. So all your past experiences that you've been doing, from customer service to working in a bank to working somewhere else, how do you tailor those experiences into cybersecurity experience? Okay, and that's what we did last week or 2 weeks ago. So if I go to the platform, I'm going to show you we have mentorship sessions, and I'll show you this mentorship session. So I'll just show you the one I'll show you the one that I took with these guys just a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so it is basically on you must get a job. That's the title. So you see it here, you must get a job, using ChatGPT to revamp your CV with the Femena Ebro. So this is it here. You must get a job. So this is me walking. This is how we tailor your CV. Okay, so you see there's a part that I showed upcoming. Okay, this is yeah. So you see here, CV. Your CV has 5 major parts. Okay, professional summary, core skill, technical skills. So these are things that you will learn. How do you tailor your experience? Okay, how do you tailor your experience to the job role? Not just to the job role, but how do you tailor your past experience into the new career path that you're going into? And that's exactly what we are doing. Where to apply for jobs in the UK, where to apply for jobs if you're in the US, where to apply for jobs. These are the things that you will get to work on. Okay, so bear in mind that we have been doing this for years. Okay, we've been doing this for a while, so we understand exactly what you need to succeed. So for guys looking at certificates, it's not certificates that will get you the job. It's not. It's not going to be. It's, to be honest with you, unfortunately, if you've been spending the last couple of years, the months to working on different certificates, it's not going to get it to you. Work on projects, build projects, revamp your CV, have a stellar CV that anybody that sees your CV would be want to talk to you. Okay, that's your first foot into the door. Your CV is your first foot, and those are the things that we have designed to ensure that you're successful in the job market. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. I think I'm going to call it a day now. So the last thing I'm going to say is, if you're looking to getting started, please start now. Start now. Start now. We're looking to having you on board. The discount is only available for the first 20 people. And if you enjoyed yourself, please, guys, put a yes in the chat. If you're looking to get started, put a yes in the chat. Let's see the people that I'm going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks. All right. All right, fantastic, guys. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to having you on. Oh, okay. Cheers and have a wonderful evening. I said I was going to take just 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm thinking about 2 hours plus. Okay. But I'm sure you guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful evening for everyone